collapse of a massive crane at the port of Antwerp, Belgium, after a collision with a container ship. Terrifying moment in the Panama Canal. A tugboat was nearly flattened by a container ship while guiding it into a lock. Working near giant ships is never truly safe.
Yeah, you missed this. I filmed it. Look at the trolley over there. Look at that. Look at that. It's being totally damaged. Oh yeah, it's being hit hard.
Luckily, no major casualties were reported, but this could have been far worse.
Oh! Hey! 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 Oh my God!
The terrifying force of this ship is unbelievable. Would you dare to stand this close? In Egypt, a Red Z oversized cargo ship lost control due to a steering system failure, rammed a pier, and ran aground in the Suez Canal.
التليفون مش عارف لا اله الا الله
Nature's fury on full display. A massive barge, carried by violent floods, slammed into a Vietnamese bridge with shocking force. Workers ran for their lives after a toxic gas explosion at Jordan's port unleashed a massive poisonous cloud. In just 10 seconds, the Francis Scott Key Bridge in the US collapsed after a cargo ship lost control and slammed into one of its pillars. Unbelievable how fast it all happened. Warning! This clip may cause yacht owners summer insomnia.
Bijna over,
When you can afford a yacht but not the driving lessons,
Cógete, 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 cógelo. Ya está. Ah, la llave, ¿puedes tirar la llave?
a high-speed ferry collided with a cargo ship off the coast of the Philippines. That must have been terrifying for passengers. A journey that connects nature and the national power grid. After this collision, they'll probably stay connected. In court, incidents like this remind us of the importance of speed control and following proper navigation procedures when operating vessels. They call this docking, more like wrecking the whole docking system. The video shows what happens when a ship's anchor runs out of control. The brake should slow the chain, but a gear malfunction let it plunge into the sea, with extreme friction igniting sparks and fire. A Russian tanker with fuel oil crashed in the Kerch Strait. One sailor died, and the rest of the crew were evacuated. The old ship was broken in half due to the strong waves during the storm. Thousands of tons of oil products ended up in the sea. A terrifying moment at Busan port. A massive container ship crashed into a giant crane, causing the entire structure to collapse within seconds. Three months after running aground, the South Korean cargo ship Stellar Banner was scuttled in Brazilian waters to prevent further environmental risks. Witness the raw power of the sea as a massive ship snaps in two, tossed around like a child's toy. This was the Spanish container vessel Luna, driven ashore during a brutal storm in France.
Il va se couper en deux complètement là. Waouh, et l'eau va rentrer. Oh là là là. Oi, aïe, aïe.
When all you wanted was a normal day at the port, but instead, you got a free nuclear fireworks show. It's unbelievable to see a whole bridge structure destroyed within seconds by a barge collision. Thankfully, no one was injured, but the infrastructure damage must be massive. cargo ships collide. One scrapes against a docked vessel on the port side, causing severe damage to nearby housing and leaving both ships badly battered. Who do you think was at fault here? That's not a docking maneuver. That's a live audition for the next Titanic remake. At the port of Antwerp, Belgium, a giant 130-meter crane comes crashing down like a house of cards after being struck by a drifting vessel.
The Fedra engines failed to start, and efforts to secure new lines from 3 large tugs failed. It was pinned up against the cliffs below the Europa Point lighthouse. 4 of the ship's crew were airlifted to safety by the gallant efforts of the Spanish Coast Guard.
That probably did it. I tried to have a nice relaxing pee and it all got blown away.
Yeah.
Oh, let's calm down a bit.
Hard to imagine the violence of the storm.
Yeah. It's still very stormy.
That collision looked expensive. Any guesses on the repair bill this guy's facing? A lightning strike in Greece disabled a boat's systems, leaving it powerless as raging waves slammed it into rocks in the breakwater. Miraculously, everyone survived unharmed.
Trzymaj się!
Two yachts crossed paths offshore. No greetings, only shouting, and one small boat left heavily damaged. This is the shocking moment the Russian spy ship Lyman sank in the Black Sea after a violent collision. Chaos unfolded as the massive dredger rammed into the bulk carrier, producing a bone-shaking crash.
Fuck! Wow! Aan dat schip! Oh. En maar waar is die sleepboot? Die voorste sleepboot. Fuck!
A terrifying moment at sea. A massive cargo ship struck a smaller vessel, sending it spinning uncontrollably. Miraculously, everyone survived without injury.
Oh, su madre.
An oil tanker crashed into a port in Iraq, causing a serious collision and damaging the infrastructure.
Meu caralho.
That was biggest ship collisions and mistakes caught on camera. Don't forget to like, comment your favorite moment, and subscribe, because there's always another shocking incident waiting to be captured on film.
A small ship caught in a storm loses its cargo. A 160-meter-long cargo ship was caught in a devastating storm near the Cape of Good Hope. The ship's roll reaches 32 degrees at a critical 40.
Sometimes destruction is the only way forward. Engineers demolished the Francis Scott Key Bridge to clear the river after the container ship disaster. Take a guess. How much do you think this incident will cost?
De hittade av maskinkraft och må... Hører du smell?
Ja, jeg smeller. Knuser hele båtrekka.
In New York, a Mexican naval vessel struck the Brooklyn Bridge, stunning onlookers. In Hamburg, a 204-meter Maltese container ship struck the dock wall and a gantry crane after swerving to avoid a small pleasure boat. One wrong move, and millions in damages follow.
Das war... Ja.
In China, an old wooden boat was torn apart after being slammed against a concrete bridge. Carried away by floodwaters from recent storms, it drifted uncontrollably down the fierce current. Nature decides the fate of man-made things. This shows the importance of navigation and coordination. One mistake can lead to disaster even in wide waters. Respect to the sailors who constantly face rough seas and harsh weather like this. It's a job where courage is tested every single day. In Semarang, Indonesia, a container ship slammed into a crane, toppling it completely. Fortunately, workers fled just in time and no injuries were reported. The moment a 1,000-ton fishing vessel rammed into a small boat, ignoring the desperate shouts of fishermen. This is what helplessness looks like at sea. In Spain, an Italian-flagged passenger ship struck and toppled a port crane during strong winds, sparking a fire. Thankfully, no injuries were reported.
Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Chaos in Petersburg, Alaska, as a ferry crashed into a dock and seafood plant. Miraculously, no one was hurt, and despite the impact, the ship suffered only minor damage and resumed service quickly.
I hope nobody was in there.
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
Cruise ships are symbols of leisure, but in San Diego, one became a source of chaos when a mechanical failure sent it crashing into the pier.
Ready? Ready, go!
If seasickness is your weakness, this video is not for you. Watch as a boat fights the rough sea, unable to reach the pier.
Cacca.
Call the police right now. Call the police right now. Okay.
Chaos erupted on the River Thames as a cruise ship carrying 151 passengers suddenly caught fire and slammed into a riverside wall. Miraculously, no one was injured.
Venga, todos afuera. Ahí se va a dar. Qué cagada, mira eso. Pucha, mira eso.
Qué cagada.
Qué cagada, qué cagada, qué cagada. Abandona, abandona, abandona.
Le va a caer en el remolcador, le va a caer en el remolcador, loco.
In a dramatic twist, a Brazilian Navy training ship slammed into a pedestrian bridge in Ecuador, a crash that ironically kept the vessel from capsizing. This car is literally taking life in reverse. Tensions flared off Australia's coast as a Japanese whaling ship rammed into a Sea Shepherd vessel. An explosive clash caught on camera.
Hold back. Pitch down. Okay, change room. Alright. Get somebody to forward to check. Yeah. People are on deck. Alright. To check for the damage. Okay.
As it left port, a ferry collided with another vessel, completely destroying one of its lifeboats. Thanks to life jackets, everyone survived the boat flip. In Indonesia, a barge loaded with coal bricks crashed into a riverside cafe, sending people running in panic. Fortunately, no one was injured. After losing control while leaving port, a cargo ship collided with a bulk carrier anchored in India. The incident caused only minor damage.
Oh my God! Oh! Oh my God! Bram! Bram! Bram!
While zigzagging at high speed, a boat managed to avoid hitting another vessel but lost control and crashed into a docked boat at a waterfront home in the US. A salt barge sank at Behanar Port, Iran. Thankfully, the only loss was the cargo, not lives.
Ağa bu da çarşışı bende. Bahuner'de Mildur.
Misguided by a Dutch pilot, two tall ships crashed into each other at Texel Port, turning a docking maneuver into chaos. Have you ever seen a ship hit a dock like this? A small oversight, a huge problem. Bridge height limits are there for a reason. It was a shocking scene in Pakistan. 2 mega container ships collided at Karachi port, containers stacked high as steel met steel. That's millions worth of cargo, gone in seconds as the containers splashed into the sea. Construction workers narrowly escaped disaster when a massive bridge girder fell into the Ganges River. It's a relief to hear no lives were lost. Safety should always come first. A dramatic collision in the Black Sea. A cargo ship's anchor ripped through a smaller vessel, demolishing its command tower. Two giant cranes suddenly collapsed into a residential area in Germany, while workers were trying to install a bridge beam over a canal. One wrong calculation, and chaos follows.
Kissing it. Oh, connection, baby. Holy moly. It damn sure.
The 3,400-ton vessel sails through a storm in the North Sea.
Chaos at sea in Russia's Primorsky port. A cargo vessel rolled over while departing, dumping thousands of logs into the ocean. Investigations revealed the timber hadn't been properly secured. That's the sheer power of momentum. Once a ship this size loses control, nothing can stop it.
Santísima.
In rough waters, a passenger vessel collided head-on with a fishing trawler, leaving chaos behind.
On a fishing vessel in the open sea, a fisherman fell overboard while pulling a trawl.
Itu dubu je begui. Bita 100% dubu, bita 100%.
A big ship struck a smaller one in Chittagong Port, Bangladesh. The incident was caught on camera. Let's hope there were no serious casualties.
On the morning of 16th April 2014, the ferry MV Sewol sank while en route from Incheon towards Jeju City in South Korea. The 6,125-ton vessel sent a distress signal from about 2.7 kilometers north of Byongpungdo at 0858 KST. October 18, 2014. Ebola scare on board. U.S. Coast Guard picking up blood sample from the Carnival Magic en route back to Galveston. During a cruise ship trip, a passenger suffered a heart attack. A U.S. Marine Boeing Vertol CH-46 Sea Knight came to help. The cargo ship Smart ran aground and split in half. It happened in the harbor of Richards Bay, on the coast of the Indian Ocean in the Republic of South Africa.
Падение не зафотаешь, что ли, ёбаный рот. Блять, как бы самому не уебаться еще.
Battling extreme weather, the modern express cargo ship tilted 40 degrees and went adrift with no power. Its 22 crew members had luckily been evacuated in time. The Sri Lankan Navy is trying to prevent an environmental disaster. For several days now, a fire has been burning on a cargo ship anchored near the port of Colombo. The Singapore-flagged ship was sailing from the Indian state of Gujarat and was carrying thousands of containers, including chemicals and fuel. As a result of the incident, 8 containers with pellets for the production of polyethylene, mixed with burnt oil, have already fallen into the water, which has polluted the popular Negombo beach located near the capital. A container ship caught in a storm washed ashore.
The aftermath of a major hurricane in the Indian Ocean. Part of the cargo on the ship was lost.
We stopped.
On February 15th, all 22 sailors were evacuated from the bulk carrier Good Faith under the flag of Cyprus, which hit the rocks off the coast of Andros Island. The ship, which was heading to Odessa, got caught in a storm and the waves threw it on the rocks. The hull got a hole and took on water. Coast Guard officers who arrived at the accident site evacuated the entire crew from the bulk carrier. A vessel specializing in collecting polluted waters and 3 tugboats were also sent to the area of the incident. There were problems when reloading from the Peter Rickard ship to Butovsk. Emergency situation. Mooring cable breakage during rigging operations at sea.
The 195-meter-long oil tanker was caught in a 12-point storm. The wind speed reaches 50 meters per second.
What's that stuff?
Helicopter carrying crew replacements approaches the Viking Vision seismic vessel and crashes.